Not your daddy's caddy is probably an overstated phrase that's been used much longer than I've been around, but you would say it arguably is where Cadillac continues to head. Far from the past and pretty much all about the future. Hey, welcome to this Station Road Warrior. I'm your host, Grant Roberson. Now, having grown up around the bigger is better mantra when it comes to sedans, Cadillac DeVille's, Lincoln Town Cars, all the big boats, could you say? Well, when I get behind a sporty Cadillac, no longer is all about that long, floaty feel, but more about the S-curves. Now, this model here is the 2021 Cadillac CT5, specifically the Premium Luxury Edition. Other models include the Luxury, the Sport, and the V Series, adding that neck-snapping fun. Now, my reference to the nostalgia I have sitting behind the wheel of any Cadillac certainly is the DeVille's, the bigger ones that had the, well, huge offering when it comes to that front hood and as much real estate here at the back when it comes to that rear deck. Now, fast forward to the future side of where Cadillac is headed, well, adding a little bit more sport and, well, angling than I remember. Specifically, what we see here, the fastback design that slopes all the way down, no hardline edges other than the chiseling up you see here and there. The biggest difference as we move forward is the advancements there behind the wheel, both when it comes to the overall ride, the tight feel, and, well, twin turbos there under the hood. By the numbers, this vehicle measures in quite nicely in the upper mid-size segment, around about 193 inches overall, wheelbase about 116. As for width, with the mirrors around about 80 inches and 57 inches tall. As for the track, you're going to find about an inch wider here at the back end. Now, when it comes to design, this is where you can really see that kind of non-blockiness you think of when you think of, well, old school caddies. This obviously having that fast back look, sweeping back here to the back end. Now, you can do a reference to the good old Eldorado, but even that had a sharp angle and still a squared off line here at the back. This going with that fastback, which gives it a little bit more sport, naturally fitting quite nicely with that V Series, this being kind of the starter kit before you get there. Now, before I forget, a lot of people want to know what the price of this vehicle is as you see it, around about $52,510. One thing to note, $455 of that is this adorned rear spoiler that they put on at the dealership. Now, at the four corners, what you're seeing is 245 45s wrapping an 18-inch wheel. Also, it comes in either rear-wheel drive as you see it or all-wheel drive as an option. Now, sweep around to the back. Of course, daddy's caddy always meant, well, you had plenty of room for storage. When you start to go kind of into this mid-size segment, one compromise, especially with this fast back, could be a little bit of cargo space. Now, what you're seeing here is just under 12 cubic feet. Decent operation to climb inside. Naturally, the most easiest way is the electronic release right here. Once it's open, you're going to find a decent cavernous area, and I would argue you can squeeze some golf clubs in the back when you need, and really most of that is because of this outer niche on the outer side, really swinging those elongated clubs right in here quite easily. From the profile, it's certainly that fastback design that really adds the sport to this CT5, but I'd argue it's the grille warfare that grabs everyone's attention. Everything from the sculpting of the hood to the menacing look of these headlights and this broad two-tone grille that sweeps across, obviously Cadillac emblazoned there in the middle. Now, if you look at the grille a little bit tighter, you're going to see that two-tone approach, the black and inserts with a chrome touch there on the almost looks like little diamond appointments, bedazzling of the grille. As you sweep down, again, chrome accents here and there, darkened appointments here on this implied venting on the side, but airflow all the way through the front, down low, and this nice lower fascia that really wraps around the front end of this vehicle. When it comes to power in the hood, turbo is the name of the game. Twin options either for the 2.0 liter inline four-cylinder or the as-equipped 3.0 liter V6. Now, for the more spirited option like we see here, 335 horses and 405 foot-pounds of torque. If you prefer more of a gas-conscious option, well, that's going to give you the inline four, delivering 237 horses and 258 foot-pounds of torque. Naturally, with this twin-turbo V6, well, it's neck-snapping fun. Now, interestingly, I'm kind of a grumpy old man when it comes to sound effects, specifically there at those dual pipes at the back end. This one giving just a modest little roar when you do stomp the gas, but if I like to be a little bit more cordial, on those Sunday drives, well, just don't stomp the gas as much. Front and center on the dash will be a nice huge touchscreen system, angled back just a little bit, almost giving a better viewpoint from the driver. Now it is arguably an arm stretch away, so you're going to be more inclined to use the central control knob found between the front occupants. Makes life so much simpler. Now you can go full screen by just simply clicking right there, then using the central control knob. It will allow you to kind of easily navigate through the various radio stations. Now if you need to get back to the home screen, just simply press there. That will give you this split design. Now if you do hit it one more time, that gives you lots of kind of icons and various settings, as well as the shortcuts down below. Now besides the central control knob, you do have these two symmetric knobs as well, both the volume and various selection modes here, though I would argue it would look kind of more balanced if this knob was over here. But I'd argue also that this is kind of a driver-centric setup, so everything obviously positioned more for the driver. Now down below you will find nice simple controls for the climate, dual zones, as well as the simple up and down for the fan speed, heated and cooled seats, as well as other setups right down through the middle. Convenience is the name of the game on the CT5, and one thing I like is wireless charging. My phone is equipped. Just simply slide it right up into the niche and you'll hear it begin to activate the charging fairly quickly. What you also find is the space is quite wide, really handling my phone and its case with ease. Just under the dash you will find this area right here, kind of a little out of the way and kind of hard to reach, but it is great maybe to put some coins or some other items that you won't stowed away until you need it. Other functions right underneath the dash is going to be the driving mode. Just simply press right there, up and down. You'll get the personal My Mode, Tour, Sport, and the Snow and Ice, as well as being able to turn the traction control off and the auto stop, auto start feature with the engine. That can be, well, aggravating to some. One little area that may go unnoticed is this opening right in front of the center console. What it's for is for your phone that may not be wireless chargeability. So you connect your wire from the center console, slide it right in here, and keeps everything nice and neat. Now the CT5 is definitely driver-centric, even right down to the center console. First off, nice and wide, great elbow support, but once it opens, you can see it creates like a divide between the front occupants and a lot of storage as well as connectivity. When it comes to legroom numbers, you're going to find decent comfort up front, around about 42 inches, but the big story had to be the offering in the second row, because when it comes to fastback designs, I expect there to be crunching numbers here at the back, but instead, nice options when it comes to legroom numbers, around about 38 inches, pretty much meaning for grown adults can find comfort anywhere they sit. The fifth one there probably drew the short straw. Now this vehicle certainly left everyone in its dust, and it wasn't just because of maybe how fast the vehicle was going, but also, well, the nice pollen that is reminding me that spring is around the corner. Now before this vehicle hits the showers, one last look about how, well, sporty Caddies have become. No more squared off edges, no more granddaddy's Caddy, but instead a nice young up and coming, well, lineup that, well, can be more youthful than you imagine. All starting with that twin turbos there under the hood, innovations to boot on the inside, and, well, comfort that you expect from a premium luxury Caddy. Now, as always, thank you for watching this edition of Road Warrior. Keep both hands on the wheel and eyes straight ahead.